you are privy to some information that other people are not, Virgo, and you need to trust your instincts. Listen, I know you may not know much about it. And I know that there's all those stereotypes where you're so sure of yourself, you're so sure Virgos are never wrong. In this particular situation, it's kind of touchy. It's touchy because it's almost touchy to you. There's a sense of understanding the gravity of it, and so you're not taking it lightly. You're not like, oh no, I'm right, because no, it's not like that. It's not like that. It's just a sense, this instinct of, why do I think I'm right? Why do I kind of like have this feeling inside of me, like, you, in other words, it's coming from almost a mystical place. You don't know why you know this stuff. And in some ways, you kind of want to research why you feel this way. Like, what do the things mean? What do the symbols mean? It's like whatever you've been really like obsessed with lately in terms of researching. That's what I'm talking about. This sense of, because it's like you want to know more about it because you know that you've been picking up on something. I've always said this, that Virgos are one of the most intuitive signs. It's just that a lot of times your earth sign stubbornness comes through and you fight your intuition with your pragmatism, because it's almost like, well, it doesn't make sense, or this would be inconvenient, so let me find a way for it to not to be true. But ultimately beneath the surface, you know exactly what's going on. And this is one of those times you know exactly what's going on. And it's not that you're writing yourself off, or it's that you're almost mystified, because let's put it this way, you're like, not, if this is true, not only is this true, which is big, but it also proves, and I can't ignore anymore, that I have this way about me, right? So it's like two steps. There's like two tiers here. There's not just the level of knowing the thing or what's going on. There's all of a sudden recognition of what can and what is possible for you, like what you're capable of. So what is it that we're talking about? I don't know, because like I don't want to jump into I'm not going to jump into any big news stuff, but ultimately there's something intuitive that you understand and that you feel is on its way. This is sacred wisdom. This is what the card that I'm looking at. Our ancient future. Our ancient future is almost like Native American spirit energies. That sense of learning from the past. And maybe that's what it is. It's like maybe you've been researching because you had a hunch, right? And you've been researching and looking through things because you feel like this has happened before. That's what this energy is. It's like, you know that this has happened before, and that's why you're picking up. It has something to do with something that you've lived through or something that you've read about in the past. This is like our ancient future. Could be natives and native land and tribal land. It could have directly to do with indigenous people that are living around you, or that influence or impact you somehow with their beliefs, their rituals, their rites. It's kind of like all coming back to you, like you're feeling it in your body, in your blood. It's something like you just, it can't, or it's your ancestors. It could very well be that they're connecting with you. It's almost like you feel a deep connection with an ancestral past, with like an ancient wisdom. And ancient could be your grandmother, but that's just that sense of like, I'm feeling that connection, almost like you could, I'm not kidding, you could be getting dreams from this person, you could be getting angel messages from this person, if this is an ancestor that's talking directly to you. But it's almost like you have to speak your truth. You have to speak up about it. You have to say, it's encouraging you to say. It's almost like it's speaking through you. Like you have to be the voice that stands up and sticks up for either, actual tribal people, or you have to be the spokesperson for your ancestors because they can't defend themselves. It's like you just have this drive all of a sudden, knowing that this is more than just what you're speaking out about. It's got to do with a higher purpose, and you own that, and you're taking that upon yourself. This is a sense of you being the voice for your ancestors, you being a voice from the past, and you clearly comprehending that this is something worthy of you putting yourself out there for, because normally you would not put yourself out there. You wouldn't take this kind of risk. But for you at this point, it's not about you. It's like, who am I if I don't say something? That's what you're kind of like, that's what you're kind of like coming down to. This is really interesting energy. So you have the new moon above here, and the card right next to it, you have a star. So it's like the birth of a new star, the birth of you. It could be the birth of you being the new star, letting yourself be seen. Because lots of times Virgos don't really like to be seen. But ultimately, this is you allowing yourself to be seen. This is also a balance of the yin and the yang. So getting people to get their shit back together and back into balance. Also a sense of balancing out those different dynamics or aspects inside of you. Evening out the playing field. That's kind of like, there's almost like this sense of, you see that there's an unfairness, and that's what you're stepping in to say something about. And you can see right there, her throat chakra is activated too. So really what you're doing is you're stepping in for balance. It's really interesting. I don't know if you're dealing with a Libra or the Libra energy, but ultimately you can't really keep your mouth shut about this. You see it. And there's a level of, but I don't know much about this. Like really a level of humility with you with regards to this, because you're like, I don't really know. I don't know if I should speak up, but you're like, of course I have to speak up. Of course I have to say something, because ultimately it's like, without understanding why and I think that's why you're doing so much research, to kind of get some sort of pragmatic connection to this situation. But ultimately it's all coming from your intuition. This is something really new. It could be trust your innocence, balanced forces, throat chakra. You're going against the grain here. You really are. It's almost like, because you can. It's like, you ever hear that? Of course you've heard that expression. It's like, well, do it because you know they'd want you to. It could be that. It could be a sense of, I don't know why I'm drawn to this, but I am. And it's not necessarily you. It's a guiding force from one of your ancestors. This is a time to celebrate. It's a time to, it's something that's very special that's happening to you. Decorate and give yourself the best. This is a time to celebrate. And go against the grain. Don't do what you would normally do, right? Go big on this one. It's not... Cougar. I was so drawn to these cards, Virgo. In silence, you find power. Claim your leadership role and take action. See, there is something that you are privy to and understand and know. You could have been held witness to it, or you could be the one that's sort of leveling out the playing field for everybody and making things fair. But you know where to go and what to do. You have the courage and confidence to succeed. So this speaks of not speaking up, but staying silent. But express your truth. And this is your truth. What is your truth? What you know, your words. Oh, interesting. I just got this message in my head. How can you both stay silent and speak up? And ultimately, I talk to you guys about this a lot. Music. So you can speak up and say the truth through your music, but ultimately, that's also a safe way to do it. A safe way to express just what you feel. while simultaneously, this is you finding a safe way to express how you feel. You're going against the grain. I think people would be very surprised with this because it's just not like you. It's almost like this leadership role isn't something that you asked for, and normally it isn't something that you would want, but you have to. It's like if you looked around the office and were asked, okay, pick out the person who could do this better than you. Forget about ego, forget about arrogance. Just logically speaking, they couldn't. You know that somebody's in a situation where if you don't step in and do something, it's not going to get done. It's not going to be done. And it needs to be done. You won't be alone. This is more ancestral guides, people teaching you, learning, and people helping you along your path. It's almost like you know that you have to do this because somebody did do it for you. Somebody helped you, so you're going to help them. You're going to help somebody, that kind of thing. Or I don't know. You may actually be speaking up in defense of them so that things can be fair. Give yourself the best. Oh, despite what people think, you're going to go all out. That's what this is. It's like allowing yourself to go all out and not hold back and not take second. It's almost like normally you would be you would be very kind of conservative. Not conservative, it's not political at all, but you would be very conservative with how you spend money and why you bought this, or does it have a purpose? Kind of minimalistic or just functional. That's not what it's going to be. This is going to be indulgent. You're going to indulge. Either you're going to indulge your instincts, you're going to indulge your intuition, you're going to indulge yourself. Now, you can decorate, give yourself the best. I don't know if you throw in a party, but this is rebelling against your normal self and letting you be more than what you normally allow yourself to be. For shits and giggles. No, not for shits and giggles. You're going all out. Because it's time. You know that something's up. I've seen, these are the cards I'm looking at and I can't get my eyes off of. You know that something's going on. That there's something hidden or underhanded or not safe that's floating around in the community around you, or just in the sort of the world around you, dealing with some sort of very immature man, like somebody who just cannot grow up, right? So this would not be the picture of responsibility, and you recognize these traits, these like man boy traits, probably male. Or you could feel something coming if you have like a male or a male child in your life. You could feel like something's coming up, something's wrong, or something's going to get in their way. So in defense of them, you're like, you would not speak up. You would really, that's what it is. You would really just rather just shut the fuck up and mind your own business and make your life simpler. But ultimately, Virgo, this is about you sticking up for somebody else, for somebody that you really care about. If you have a man child, or you have somebody who's just, there's just this energy of this man child energy, or a child that is a boy, right? That you have, that you're ever so aware of. They could be in danger, or their environment is being endangered, or something like that, because of a really corrupt, this is corrupt power. This is corruption. This is somebody messing up something that really matters to you, right? Just for power. This is usually like a corrupt leader, or corruption of power, corrupt manipulation, corrupt leadership. You don't really trust this. You don't really trust this in the way that they're doing things. And let's check this out. You're actually privy to some sort of communications that reveal it. Whether it's because you can read between the lines or not, like you're privy to these communications. And these are communications that are secretive, trying to be hidden. Like people weren't supposed to know them. So I don't know what you got yourself into in terms of like work or what's going on at work. But ultimately, Virgo, you have insight into, somebody help somebody. We get into the nitty gritty, man. I can't wait to see what tarot reveals. But ultimately, it's like you see the chain of command. You see who's helping who. And if you shut up, it would be better for you, like in terms of money or in terms of credit or in terms of you're risking a lot. Let's get into your spirit messages. You're not a risk taker. Like that's not your nature, but ultimately you're risking a lot to speak up and say this. And you wouldn't do it if it wasn't important. Spirit has a plan. This is divinely guided. You've literally been tapped by Spirit. What can you say? This is such a high level of consciousness, knowing with absolute certainty that this is for the greater good. And this is being divinely guided. I'm not saying that you think you're God. That's not what I'm saying at all. I just think that you are so connected and correct about basically being the watcher or the guardian or having like a bird's eye view of this. This could be shit going on at work. All of us, like because of your level of management or because whatever, you got insight into some shit that maybe it was just not good for you to see, but now you can't unsee it. Damn. Let it shine. This is something coming up from the dark recesses, and all of a sudden, bam, the spotlight's on it. Something coming out of the dark. This is also coming out of your mouth. You could have actually finally revealed something that had happened to you for quite some time ago because you needed to heal yourself. So that could be actually what you're speaking, your hidden pain. You're speaking suffering that you kept to yourself. And now you're going against that. You're rebelling and you're allowing yourself to indulge in yourself and come out and speak because you need it. This is definitely confidence. Be generous of spirit and have confidence in yourself and believe in your heart and believe that you have a right to do this. But this is definitely, there's so much conviction and there's leadership. Once again, leadership. Shining a light maybe on leadership or being thrust into a leadership position because of all this craziness that's happening underneath. Miracles are endless. So you're literally divine, being selected. This is Taurus energy, finances rewarded to you. There's just abundance surrounding you. So you have the resources. You absolutely do. This is two fixed energies, a sense of really knowing. Fixed energies hold up the tradition of things, right? So there is a sense of having a confidence and feeling responsible for being the one that holds up the traditions of things. And when they're not being held up, you have this is like the knee-jerk reaction. It's not that you don't want things to change either. It's that you see that there's a level of disrespect here. That's not something that you can tolerate. Yeah, this is like somebody being laid bare or made vulnerable, put in a very vulnerable or compromised situation. This is bear energy, right? We got bear energy here. Once again, this is like a compromised, could be a mother figure, mama bear, somehow compromised, like corruption. So it's not your fault. You didn't do it. But ultimately, this is a compromised leader. Or this could be information that compromises a leader, and you have it. And you have to share it. You have to share it. There's manipulation going on here. You're walking in a spider web. And I think that you know that. I think that you understand how dangerous this situation is. And that's why maybe it's taken you a while. No. Hasn't taken, you know right and wrong, and you know what you have to do. And you will do it. But you're taking your time because you want to go in with an arsenal of intellect and an arsenal of knowledge. You don't want to just trust your intuition, because ultimately you know that that's not all you're going to need. You're going to need to know the facts when you bring this. You're going to need proof that somebody's been pulling strings from the background. This is like a moth to a flame. There's no resisting this, is what it's saying. This is also Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius energy is directly opposite. No. Gemini energy is directly opposite from Sagittarius energy. This is the wide world. Being like sucked into the wide world, or the bigger picture. You're too keenly aware of the big picture to pretend like you don't know this. It's going to be hard. This is Scorpio season. Scorpio season is when painful things come up to the surface. So this is you confronting the pain, or it just bugging you or nagging you, or you know that there's some sort of disease in the world, that there's some sort of problem or issue in the world, and you have to address, you have to smack the fucking fly, you have to address it. There's definitely something bugging you, shall I say. Sing your own song. This is Gemini energy. Releasing your voice, singing. What did I say? It could very well be that you could sing this, or find a different way or a different vehicle to share what you've discovered or learned. You do have to get it out there. You do have to get off your chest. This is saying that you need to liberate this. You need to say it. You need to speak it. You can't hold it in, because it's like not even good for you to hold it in. Time to let go. Last but not least, this is Scorpionic energy too, of those things that were hurting you, of those things that were gnawing on your heart. This is something that you have to say. This is Scorpionic energy. It's something that you have to get off of your chest. This is also dreams, and I'm not kidding. I wouldn't be surprised if you've been dreaming every single day, or this energy surrounding you with your dreams. There's something nagging at you and scaring you about a dream that you had, because it makes you realize, it attaches you to some sort of responsibility or understanding in the 3D. It's almost like this dream is real. That's all I'm going to say to you. 100%. I'm going to articulate all of this in tarot. That link is below. Please do join me for the extended. But hang around for the angel guide messages first, because I love to share those with you guys. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do click that link and then ring that bell so you get all the notifications when I upload. I upload a new Virgo specific video every single week. Plus every other week I make a pick a card. Plus every other week around the moons I do messages from the moon. If you want to join me for all of those things, just click subscribe and ring the bell, and you'll help Born Without Boundaries grow. Also, join me for my daily tarot card readings Monday through Friday on Instagram. You could find me at born_without_boundaries over on Instagram. And of course, you can find all of my extended content as well as my free astrological weekly forecasts. That's 100% astrology, not tarot, over on Vimeo. So you can subscribe over there as well. And then you can just subscribe to my website if you'd like, and you'll get email blasts with all of this information as well. So many different ways to help support Born Without Boundaries. And I'm really glad you're here with me. I release a new Virgo specific video every single Friday. So you can rely on Friday morning between 5 and 6 a.m. Pacific time. You'll get new Virgo content every single week. Harmony. I'm telling you that there's something here. I'm telling you. About music, about harmony, about the sound of things, about things sounding right together. Ooh, that's what it is. And that's why Gemini it's like you can tell that somebody doesn't sound right. You can tell that something doesn't sound right. That it doesn't make sense. It's disharmonious. You're very in tune to that, and I'm just like, going to drive me crazy. You're very in tune to that, and honestly, you know that something is extremely disharmonious right now, and that's what you're picking up on. You're picking up. See, you just made sense out of it. Ha ha ha. You're picking up on something that's not in tune. You can tell when something's not in tune because that's very pragmatic. That's very logical. That's very structured because it's very mathematical. Ultimately, Virgo, that's why you pick up on it, because you're in tune with vibrations. And when vibrations aren't harmonious, that's what you're picking up on. You're picking up on something that don't sound right. Harmony. Disharmony occurs when we try to resist life's natural flow. Everything has its cycle. Every stage of life has its own unique meaning and purpose. Every day can be harmonious if we want it to be. I gotta read this. I'm sorry. Truth. Oh, shit. The best way through the current situation is to just speak your truth. Contrary to what you may think, no one will be hurt if you express exactly how you feel. Damn. Blue Angel. This is Archangel Michael. I, Archangel Michael, am here by your side. I am all around you and will forever protect you. Remember this, whenever you feel fearful, I love you. All is well. Divine guardian and protector. Compassion. When you show greater compassion toward yourself, the universe automatically responds by showering you with greater blessings. Miracle. Our wings of light surround you and those you love. This current situation is governed by a higher power. The forces of love are at work. All will turn out well. Positive thinking. Positive thinking is vital in creating, a healthy and abundant life. A positive attitude along with positive beliefs and thoughts are crucial ingredients for creating happiness. Don't worry, think love. And last but not least, Virgo, determination. Determination, perseverance, and patience will lead to positive outcomes. Let's get to the nitty-gritty. That link is below. I'll see you over in the extended for tarot.